I'll take you through basic terminology and concepts, introductory arm technique and foundation building blocks, then show you how to progressively build 5 groups of isolations from beginner to advanced moves. I teach several of the steps from my signature style, but I also go deep into the fundamentals that underlie every style of belly dance. My program includes both theory and practice. For new beginners, I've included a broad selection of movements and movement breakdowns. For more advanced dancers, I'll help you to understand how and why to choose movements so that you can begin to really take ownership of your dancing, creating your own choreography or improvising with total comfort. My main focus is on artistic belly dance for theatrical performance, but this is also a video for dancers who perform in other styles or for dancers who don't perform at all. You'll learn to dance with the radiant feeling of an open, lifted heart and build clean isolations polished with sophisticated technique in the legs, feet, arms, hands, and angle of the body. You can use my methodology to give a finished look to cabaret, tribal, ethnic, or fusion styles, or just to enjoy the feeling of creating beauty. My program is systematic and thorough. The best learning comes from a combination of doing, understanding, and feeling, so I teach each move 3 different ways in technique, practice flows, and choreography. Whether you prefer a more analytical or more intuitive approach, you're covered. The technique section is dense, like a user's manual or reference guide with extensive step-by-step instructions and detailed information about mechanics, method, and theory. I describe each move in terms of alignment, engagement, and flow, addressing both anatomy and sensation. For visual learning and skill building, dance along with practice flows. These training exercises are loosely choreographed dances that will put each movement into your muscle memory. As you build comfort with the dance vocabulary, try the movements in context in the choreography. This is a highly structured program, but also an adaptable one. I encourage an intentional approach, so this video is made to empower you with information and skills that will help you create dance you will love to do. I hope your experience in belly dance gives you everything it has given me. Welcome to Beautiful Technique. When I talk with other dancers, I find that nearly all of us have had a common experience. Belly dance creates love at first sight. From the first moment of our first classes, we are hooked. But, as in any relationship, getting the most from belly dance takes work. Obviously, much of that work is physical, but dance also happens in our minds and in our hearts. We must each discover our identity as dancers before we can truly take ownership of our art. Be serious about making dance, but don't be stern. Be happy, have fun, make choices, be intentional, and create the dance that you want to put in the world. Belly dance is filled with labels and categories. Use these categories to help you, but not to limit you. Descriptive ideas, words like Turkish, Egyptian, cabaret, tribal, fusion, these all give some information about the type of music, movement vocabulary, and costuming a dancer might be using, but they don't tell us really fundamental information. As you learn about different styles, start to think also about context and motive. Is your dancing intended for an audience, or do you dance simply to enjoy dancing? Are you interested in elite movements that require special ability? Or do you favor an inclusive vocabulary that's for anyone and everyone? Do you enjoy dance as a means of unlimited self-expression? Or do you prefer the structure and conventions of a more traditional approach? What's your level of motivation and ambition? As long as you understand and describe your work accurately and honestly, you are entitled to be any dancer that you want to be. This may seem like obvious advice, but it may not be so obvious if you're dancing in a small community where a few strong personalities promote certain styles. On any given day, you may be as traditional or creative as you wish. You may choreograph or improvise. You may work in a particular style or create your own. You may strive for excellence, or just dabble. Belly dance exists as both a participatory activity and as performance art. Performance is not right for everyone. You may have the most rewarding experience dancing solely for personal reasons, at home or in classes, alone or within communities of friends. Personal reasons are great reasons. Dance for healing, spirituality, community, ethnic heritage, sensuality, fitness, recreation, or pure joy. If you choose to take your dancing into the public sphere as a performer, remember that now you're no longer dancing for just yourself. If you want to be treated with dignity and respect, respect your audience. To find the greatest satisfaction and success, match your dancing to the desires and expectations of your audience. If you're still practicing, make sure you're only dancing in recitals and other venues for developing performers. If you're doing traditional commercial work as an entertainer at nightclubs and parties, you'll be most successful if you follow the conventions of these venues. If you present yourself as a performer of dances from a particular culture or country, be authentic and respect the traditions of the form. If your work is more artistic, tell your audience so and make sure that they are in the mood to see something new. To move your dancing to the next level, take to heart words of wisdom you already know. What you put in is what you get out. The benefits of continuing to build your technique are obvious, but don't stop there. Technique is like a box of tools. Having a variety of high-quality tools makes any kind of work easier, but tools are useless until you know what you want to build. A large vocabulary, whether of words or movements, is not enough to make you a great communicator. You must also figure out what you want to say. Self-expression can be intimidating, especially in dance. All artists reveal themselves through their work, but as dancers we undergo the unique vulnerability of showing not only our ideas, but our bodies. Be brave. Also, be smart. Keep learning, keep improving. Take initiative. Ask how and why. Teachers and coaches are invaluable curators of information who can help you to focus your training, but in the end, no one can dance for you. You must do the work of discovering dance within yourself. Move beyond passive imitation. Be active and fearless, and you will grow the wisdom that will let you dance the truth of your soul. Practice flows are a progressive series of training exercises that build on one another and aren't designed to be danced all at once by a new beginner. I recommend that you start out only by dancing to the end of section 1 and keep repeating just this exercise until every detail is clean and crisp and the steps and transitions flow easily. When you've mastered the skills in section 1, you're ready to add section 2. Begin every training section with warm-up and arms, review the exercises you've mastered, then dance several repetitions of the exercise at your current skill level. Move at your own pace, but if you choose to push yourself, be judicious. When you rush ahead, you may end up sloshing through difficult moves and formalizing slosh in your muscle memory. Instead, challenge yourself to be patient and diligent. Coordination, skills, strength, and flexibility all build gradually but reliably through repetition, and it takes time and effort to put dance into your body. As you progress, use a mirror or video camera. Look at your movements and work to change the things that you don't like. You'll be able to see your body line most clearly in simple clothing with a low waistband, scarf, or belt arranged straight across your hips to show the angle of your pelvis. If you prefer to cover up when you train, make sure your clothing moves with you and shows the movements in your knees, waist, shoulders, and elbows. It's usually easiest to see muscles and joints through light-colored, stretchy fabrics. I went barefoot in this video so that you can see movement in my feet, but I usually train in a ballet slipper. Choose whatever option for your feet looks and feels best for you. Barefoot dancing gives you a beautiful natural look and a great sense of connection with the earth, but you will need to build up a callus layer before your foot will glide smoothly and comfortably against the floor. And it's a dangerous choice in some performance venues. If you feel the floor tugging against the skin of your foot, try a soft-soled dance shoe made for jazz, modern, or ballet. If you like high heels, train carefully to avoid dancing with locked knees and a swayed back. The choreography I developed for this video gives you a chance to see the movements that I've taught in context and illustrate some basic ideas about dance as performance. When I make a dance, I think about 5 things: good technique, emotional expression, musical interpretation, dynamic range, and stylistic integrity. Good technique makes dance more polished. It's possible to create compelling performances without good technique, but it's much more challenging. Think of a metaphor from the visual arts. A great artist can make great art with no classes and no tools, but training and art supplies make it much easier. Or think about cooking. Having high-quality ingredients makes it much easier to put together a great meal. Good technique helps you to realize your full potential. Emotional expression and musical interpretation transform technique into dance. Dance to the music. Give it shape and express its mood. Think of yourself as water and music as the bed and banks of the stream you flow through. Rest against the music and let it determine your form. Show yourself as well. Use the gestures and body language that let your personality come through. When you're training, it's important to be as precise in your movements as possible, but it's often better to be a little more free in dance performance. If you're creating an artistic piece that's meant to seem mechanical, then it's appropriate to perform in that style. But for traditional belly dance, be warm and alive. React to the music and your environment and acknowledge the audience. If you find it difficult to really be present, if all you can think about is what step you should be doing next, continue to train. Training puts dance into your body so that beautiful movement happens automatically. Performing is a little like driving a car on a busy highway. You will be overwhelmed if you are still learning to drive. Belly dance music is typically based on nested call and response phrases and a pattern of repetition with variation. Follow this format with your movements. The music I've used in the practice choreography has an intro, 3 sections plus a bridge, and an outro or coda. The first section, section A, repeats 4 times. Section B and C each repeat 3 times. The steps in my choreography follow. Each time a section repeats, the basic moves in that section also repeat, but with variation. Call and response repetition within these sections is echoed in symmetrically repeated movement, led on one side of the body, then the other. Dance to both rhythm and melody, keeping the beat and matching the sounds of the melody instruments. The tonal systems of Middle Eastern music use a much greater variety of pitch than Western scales. This rich tonal color gives Middle Eastern music a more voice-like quality, creating phrases that invoke the impression of imploring, moans, questioning, sighs of contentment, and other human communication. Follow these cues. To further guide your movement choices, think about dynamic range and stylistic integrity. Dynamic range is the texture of dance. In my own style, I like to use a wide variety of movements, but I also follow the convention of authentic Middle Eastern dance, creating variety through changes in orientation, direction, level, timing, and intensity. Dynamic range provides the contrast that makes each movement stand out. By alternating between soft and strong, elegant and earthy, fluid and staccato, you create dance that is rich and deep. Guard against too much variety by making sure your dance has stylistic integrity. A dance with integrity is a dance that makes sense. The pieces fit together and feel intuitively right. When this fit is lacking, performances seem fake or flat. So make sure everything matches. Movement, music, costume, context, and venue. For traditional belly dance, just follow the music and the conventions of the style you're working in, and choose the moves that are the best fit for your body, abilities, and personality. If you're inspired to innovate, finding the right balance of elements is more of a challenge. A good way to think about balancing range and integrity is to return to the metaphor of cooking. We get great sensual enjoyment from complex flavors and complementary pairings, but just throwing together random things from the fridge is not likely to yield an appetizing result. When you are trying something new, you will almost certainly have to do many experiments to get things right. So, have fun experimenting. You often learn more from experiments that fail than from those that succeed, so don't worry if it doesn't work out right away. The care that you put into your dancing will show in your final product.